to get this chair back in like 3 weeks when my sister's stuff returns, because this is her computer chair. It's so comfy. Hey guys, it's Lita. I hope you're all amazing, and if you are not, I hope my video puts a smile on your beautiful faces and makes you laugh. You know what is a really deadly word to certain people that are collectors, you know, is sales. In this week's video, as I said to you guys on Friday in my Clockwork Planet episode 4 review, I will be doing a discussion. This discussion video was inspired by my fellow co-host that I do my podcast with, which is Shay for Anime Review Girl, which, by the way, you should all go sub to her because she does amazing different variety in content, and she's my girl. The video that she did this week was talking about when she went to a DVD store. I think she was in a random store. She noticed how many anime DVDs were very scarce on the shelves. There was only so many. She showed a picture of when she went to the store and showed of the shelf and how many anime DVDs were actually on the shelf, and there weren't that many. In her video, she goes into detail about how back in the day it was so, you know, all the rage buying all the anime DVDs and everything. And I felt inspired to do a discussion video on actually related to a blog post that I remembered I wrote last year, which was why I like being a collector. Now, this video won't specifically target to just, you know, people who collect like anime and manga like me. This ranges from anyone that collects anything from like, you know, rare coins to maybe rubber ducks. Yeah, you know, you never know. Everybody's got their thing for what they like collecting. To go back to my roots of when I started collecting anime, it must have been around, obviously, when I moved to Australia when I was about 16 or 17 when I started first collecting anime. And like the first box set I ever got was what my parents got me, which I've told you guys about before, which is Angelic Layer, which is by Clamp, by the way. You should go watch that show. It's so cute. I really treasured that box set, and that show I watched over and over again. And you know how that was the first time I'd ever seen like a DVD kind of set like that. You know, this pretty art box, and you know, just every time I look at it now, I'm just like, oh, it all comes flooding back. Thus, after that, I just started collecting anime. I'd never really had a big collection of anything when I was younger. Probably a bunch of collection of like poems and fan fiction that I used to write. But now, 10 years later of like watching anime, or say more than 10 years, you know, that collection has grown exponentially. It has. It's not like overly a massive collection, but I'm very proud of my collection and all the animes and stuff that I have. But everybody knows that my manga collection is very small because I've only just kind of got into wanting to get into more manga collecting. And yeah, I'm just going to go over some of the reasons why I like being a collector. And I think most collectors that I know on here and stuff will know what I'm talking about and some of the points that I'll be making. So in collecting anything, you know, when it comes to anime, I'm going to be talking specifically in this video, is a sense of fulfillment. Everybody feels this sense of fulfillment. It's like this excitement, you know, like you're stalking your mailbox and you're waiting for like that one anime series to come through the post and everything. I can't tell you guys how many times I've stalked my mailbox, you know, waiting in anticipation. But yeah, a sense of fulfillment, you know, I can't really explain it. We just, you know, having that, holding that, whatever it is you are collecting. For me, anime, I just feel this sense of fulfillment, and then you feel like your life is complete. But then you move on to the next thing that you'll say completes your life. Every time like I'm stalking eBay, I click that buy it now button and I'm just like, oh, yes. It just washes over you completely. I've been scrolling through eBay today, so what is that gonna lead to? So I feel one of the most important things when it comes to collecting that is very crucial to me, it is when collecting anime, is physical copies. Now, I've only just started getting into like the streaming side of things. Like recently, just on the end of last year, I subscribed to 2 streaming services, which is Crunchyroll and Anime Lab, which is strictly only for Australia and New Zealand. I don't regret like making the subscription, paying to watch some of these anime, because I, want to at least support the industry in like some way. I mean, I do stream some of my anime now, particularly that I'm back on the, seasonal saddle. But owning a physical copy is way more important to me. But another reason that is so important to buy physical copies is that, like a company like Funimation and that, they lose the licenses for certain series. I mean, even here in Australia, we have Mad Men that is classed as like the Funimation, but it's Mad Men, one of our local distributors here that does throughout the whole of Australia. They've lost some licenses to certain anime. Like last year, I remember I made a video talking about the feeling of, anime losing their licenses. Like that sparked it when like a sci-fi series, Birdie the Almighty Decode, Funimation lost the license for that, and also for Metal Alchemist. But I know later on, obviously Crunchyroll picked it up, it did, but that means like when they lose the license that, anime is not being distributed anymore, in home video release or streaming. And that's when it's hard to find like older animes. I might as well integrate 2 points into one with this. Also, this is leading into finding rare, obscure anime. This is my main interest in anime itself. Like I love watching, I love finding, I love discovering about like those hidden gems in anime. It just excites me for some reason. I just feel so overwhelmingly like excited, and every time somebody suggests something to me, it automatically goes on like, my plan to watch this, where I've got like at least over 295 something planned to watch. Like as streaming has become the norm kind of now. It's very more mainstream. A lot of people would rather stream than anything, which is really not a bad thing. That does support the industry, but I feel like it doesn't support it enough. That's why I feel that, distributing anime and home video release is so important. I feel like I am supporting the industry every time I buy any physical release. I would rather own it, because you never know what series is going to lose their license, and nothing will ever make me not want to buy a physical copy. I just like to own as many like rare, obscure anime as that I can, because you never know what will happen in the future. I'm not like worried anime industry is going to just die and go. I don't believe that for a second, but I believe it's important to support the anime industry. And I, as a collector, I just am OCD about just wanting to own any physical copy of anything I can. And again, why would you not want to own a physical copy? All the pretty box sets. And it's good, like when Shay was talking about video, how Funimation always bringing out always all these limited edition box sets and stuff. And whereas Mad Men here in Australia, they are still so on top of everything all the time, of bringing out all the latest releases. They come flooding in every month when I get my new email saying what is the new releases. Mad Men doesn't do like some of the limited edition kind of releases like Funimation does with a lot of popular series. But Mad Men is so good for always bringing out all the newest anime in physical copy form, and that just makes me happy. That's why I love Mad Men. Mad Men is so good here in Australia, and not saying like Funimation isn't or anything, but they are always on top of every new release, and any of the animes I've ever wanted to come out in physical release, they have, and it makes me, still makes me hopeful for the future, but at the same time, I feel as a collector it's so important to own a physical copy, and I just know my collection is going to continue to grow and grow. It is. And this leads into another point that I want to make, that where money is involved, where a lot of people say, they can't afford a lot of anime. I mean, I used to, back in the day when I first started collecting anime, I couldn't afford hardly any DVDs or anything. This was back when I was collecting like really single volumes of anime, and back when they were kind of expensive. You were classed as. Now not so much. Chance I was given like some pocket money or something, I would just save it. I don't think there's any excuse to say that, oh, I can't afford any anime. Some people may not be able to afford it, but you know, there is always, you know, ways around that. There is, you know, when it comes, you know, for example, like if you go to your like local library, you can like borrow some of the anime DVDs and manga. Like right now, the past 3 weeks, I've been borrowing a heap of manga from my local library because I'm doing a upcoming like manga main challenge. I'm going to be reading 1 volume or more a day. This is to try and get me into manga reading more. But yeah, so borrowing, just because like, you know, you don't feel like you have to buy like a physical copy of an anime or a manga just to try it out. You know, libraries are so good, and some of the mangas that I've picked up are series that I've wanted to read for a long time, but most of them are volume 1s and that, and it'll give me a good insight if this is a series that I actually want to collect. I do, because committing to collect something is kind of a big deal to me. I only really, in my manga collection, have series that I know I will actually re-watch or actually reread, so that's a part of my anime collection. All of the ones I have are ones that I know I will re-watch. There is some over the years where I've kind of regretted buying and I know I won't re-watch, but now I'm very OCD about that. I only want to collect things I know I'm going to reread as well. That's kind of important to me as a collector. But money-wise, you can save money, saving like a $5 or a $10 there. I used to get in just a plain old envelope, right, for anime, and every time I used to get like $5 or I had leftover whatever, or coins, it would just go in that one envelope. And then I remember one year I saved maybe $150. It was around my birthday, and I went and binged on anime, and I didn't feel guilty because like I knew I had saved it. So when it comes to like buying physical copies of anime or buying manga books, you know, you just got to be careful. You just got to budget yourself. It sucks being an adult, you know, bills, cough, but then afterwards you can like binge as much as you want, but you know, sometimes you just gotta be like responsible. You do. One thing also being a collector personally for me is it's a personal thing. It's different for every collector of whatever it is they collect, and for me, like anime, again, this is leading into the sense of fulfillment. I remember one collection that I had been searching for such a long time, and that was a rare series called Final Fantasy Unlimited, and I randomly came upon it upon a Facebook group, and the person was selling the original box set in mint condition for like $50 we ended up agreeing on. Now I remember when it came to my door, it is actually on my article, my surprise face of when I finally got it. I was just like over the moon. I was so happy to finally like have it in my hands. You know, it'd been such a long time since I'd seen it, and yeah, just holding that, just for me personally, it feels amazing. I like feel on top of the world when I'm holding that physical copy or whatever it is in my hands. But you know, there's so many animes that I really have wanted for a long time. I know eventually I will get them, but at the same time, it's good to have that kind of anticipation, that excitement. It gives you something to look forward to. Like even right now, I really want to own the first season of Snow White with the Red Hair, and I'm waiting for when there's a sale and I will be able to hold that and finally own that. I've been waiting for that series to come out here in Australia for a long time, and it's finally here. But you know, I know that when I get my hands on it, it will have been worth it. So for a collector, it's like worth the wait. Some people can't wait, but when you're a collector, it's definitely worth the wait. And the last reason that I know I have rambled quite a bit on, but the last reason I love being a collector is also a deadly word. I said it in the beginning of this video. Every person that collects anime or likes the anime sales, we know that your wallets burn in hell for this. They do. Love when Madman announces they're gonna have a sale, or my local DVD store's gonna have a sale. Oh man. It's like adrenaline of rush. Seriously, it is. It's like an adrenaline of rush that you feel, and you feel like you're unstoppable. You know, like keep clicking that cart button. This goes in the cart, that goes in the cart, and when you click that check it out button, pay, and then you tweet about it after. Okay, maybe that's me. But yeah, sales are deadly, yet amazing, amazing, amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm glad I got to talk about this. I did, because I'm first and foremost a anime collector more than a manga collector. I am. And I would love to know in the comments down below, are you a collector? Do you feel the same things that I have addressed in this video? What is it that drives you to collect, like whatever it is, like physical copies of anime? What do you think about, you know, the idea of streaming has become the mainstream? I don't ever want physical copies to stop being distributed. I will cry. I will cry. And if you guys are interested, I did a video quite a while back now on my top 5 sentimental series that is in my collection. Like, they've all got sentimental value. All these, some were box sets, some were in Blu-ray. If you're interested in watching that video, I'll link it in this down in the down bar below. And yeah, as always, make sure you support our anime industry. Don't forget to subscribe for more craziness. And if you want to keep up with my anime antics, you can follow me on my blog, Alita Kino Anime Corner. And you can follow me on Twitter, Kino Reviews, where I am all the time. And I will see you guys next week with a brand new Clockwork episode and a new video on Sunday as usual. I'll see you then. Bye!